I'm just gonna tell you this. This is not gonna be one of my normal videos. But today I'm gonna share a topic with you that makes me feel upset and uncomfortable when viewing discussions about it. That being a certain minority of rezero's character designs, as well as an overall problem with the light novel art style. I'll start with a preface. Tappei Nagase describes his characters in a very pragmatic manner, upon their initial introduction. There are very few instances in which a character is sexualized through his writing, and to be more specific, his use of this is purely for story purposes, i.e., to represent Elsa's Black Widow assassin allure, while also making her all the more terrifying. Tappei even tells us himself that he has a hard time visualizing his characters, and is surprised of his first time watching them in drawing or animation. All of this to say, I wholeheartedly believe that Tappei Nagase has little to no malintent when creating his character. However, many people point out the problematic existences of certain characters' designs, specifically regarding that of Liliana and Capella. First, I'll start with Capella because it's much easier to explain in my opinion. Tappei's prose goes endlessly on how she is the most grotesque, disgusting, horrid person ever. Not once in the novel are you meant to have a shred of any sort of appeal towards this character. Now let's reflect this on the character's light novel design. I attest that she looks absolutely disgusting by the way that she looks, but certain details upset me. By the nature of being the Archbishop of Lust, it is only natural for her to have this sort of attire. However, the light novel illustrator has a persistent and ever-annoying problem of making characters needlessly dainty and giving them the worst baby face imaginable. Although Tappei is not perfect, I cannot fault him entirely for this. His rhetoric is clear, and is somewhat represented in the light novel character's design, but Otsuka's tendency to make the characters look like this makes it problematic. Moving on to a worse offender, Liliana. She's meant to be 22. Her small stature stands because of her backstory, but that does not excuse her baby face. Throughout the novels, Tappei's writing goes nowhere near sexualizing her, especially in the character's descriptions. She is noted as wearing the dress of a dancer, but Otsuka's design takes far too many liberties with this, especially when given the aforementioned issue of giving her a baby face. It's just wrong. Tappei cannot be entirely absolved of blame because he clearly wanted her design to be that of a dancer, and makes stupid jokes about her looking like a child and how Kiritaka is a weirdo. But it still stands that Otsuka's design philosophy as well as his far overboard choice of clothing is far from what even Tappei is describing. These problems don't change my love for this series, as you can see I've made several other videos about it, but it just hurts to see something so transformative, progressive in the pounds of gender roles and identity to be held back by something so unimportant to the story, and genuinely not reflect Tappei as a writer, and the series as a whole. ReZero's heart-touching messages are so beautiful, and no one should allow something so unimportant to ruin that. It is far less of a problem in comparison to other anime, but since it sticks out like a sore thumb, in comparison to the rest of ReZero, I have to point it out. Although it does exist in ReZero as I have acknowledged before, sexual content is extremely limited when looking at it, especially in the anime, where the only character we get real ass shots are Subaru, and the only character other than Elsa that is sexualized is Roswaal. If you disagree with anything I said, please just be nice about it. I'm not here to be anyone's enemy. I'm aware that I could be wrong sometimes. I just want to go out and say that it is a genuinely amazing series that could be degraded meaninglessly and so in contrast to the story that Tappei is trying to tell.